You all right, BDP? You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Your soul is recovered because I'm not so sure mine is. I'm feeling my Philadelphia fan, and I mean, where do you even begin? I mean, like I just said briefly before we even started, at this point, I could savage. Well, no, you know what? That's not fair. I'll give you one exception. I was going to say I could savage everything from this organization from Lurie all the way down. Except I gotta back up on that and say, unlike last week, I've got to give props to the defensive side of the ball this week. But everything else, from the offensive line to AJ Brown to the play calling to Jake Elliott to Jalen Hurts
Wow!
to
Whoa! Did
every,
you
to
did you
every
just say
and by
Jalen
the way,
Hurts? I thought he was off limits.
and by the way, no, he's never been off limit, never been off limit. But by the way, I mean, like I will even add to that. Let me ask you this, man. When you look at some of the struggles we've had
Mm,
in a certain aspect of the say special teams, and maybe
yeah.
I went into a coma and I missed a legitimate reason. But after last year, I mean, where has Covey been? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
watched
No, he looked
punt
good last
return,
night. Yeah, he looked good
and I'm
last
like,
night.
why was he on the practice squad?
Yeah,
Like what did I miss?
we probably would
Did,
have won
did
that
I miss
Cowboys game.
a season long injury with him or something? Like what happened?
We probably would
Right?
have won that Cowboys game if he was in there.
Everything that I just listed, we could do a deep dive into the absolute incompetence of all of it. All of it. Hell, I can't even praise the one offensive thing we did right with Saquon Barkley's long touchdown because we got away with a hold.
Mm.
Like, I mean, it was just I felt like I was watching a modern retelling of the Bad News Bears, except
Mm.
before they actually started winning. I mean, am I wrong in there? Did I list something that's been awful that's actually good?
Uh,
No, no. Here's what I'll say real quick on Jalen Hurts specifically before we get going, because this is what I feel like in watching that game. It almost looked like I was watching a guy who everything that's been said about him all season long, and the way that the play calling has gone, and then blaming him for that being the play calling, it's like it all hit his brain at one time, and he decided he was going to be Superman and try and do everything and become that gunslinger that we were talking about the other day, right? I mean, because to me, the Jalen Hurts we saw before this game, even if he doesn't make a good play, that is not the Jalen Hurts that throws that ball at 22-19 in overtime because he's smarter than that. Like you've even with Jake Elliott, you're down far enough that you at least have the tying field goal, and you absolutely do not need to try and fit that pass in there. And that is a pass that I think Jalen Hurts says, I'm not throwing that all career long until yesterday, until last night.
mm.
I mean, am I wrong there? Like, is that not a pass you think that's out of character for him? Like not even not because it's an intercept, not because it's a bad pass, because actually, if the defender's not there, it was accurate to the receiver. But to me, that's a ball that Jalen Hurts looks at that and he says, "Yeah, that's covered. I'm going to go elsewhere." And for whatever reason, last night he's like, "No, I'm going to throw it." Of
Mm.
course, the flip side of that is he also hits AJ Brown right in the hands in a crucial part of the game, and AJ decides, despite bitching all season long, he's going to drop it. But not only drop it, he's going to drop it upward so it can be picked off. But anyway, I'm going to let you go because I could do this for hours.
Uh, yeah. Last night was a rough game, CDS. Last night was a game where
Brutal.
everything that people have said about Jalen Hurts that Eagles fans have been defending him on is just like it all came. It all
Yeah.
came at one time. Like it all just came at one time.
That's
Um,
why I said I'm not going to defend him in that because it actually, like, I don't think it was legit before because it wasn't happening. I mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
even criticized his perfect rating game. but it
Yeah.
was there yesterday.
Yeah,
You know,
yesterday
it was there.
it was there. I'll give him the one interception to AJ Brown that went off the
Yeah.
top of his hands. Not the best throw, but this dude gets paid $30 million to make that
Yeah,
catch.
but
So
if you that there is no excuse for an NFL wide receiver. It was a little above head height. He
yeah,
didn't even have to stretch for it.
you got to make that catch. The the interception in the red zone that turns into the fumble.
Yeah, I will say,
Dude,
dude. Well, there's the bad news bears,
that
right?
was so bad to
You
watch.
had an
Oh
interception.
fuck.
Think about this, man. In one play, you had an interception, you had two fumbles,
Hmm.
and you had three turnovers. Not two,
Oh
two
yeah.
for Jalen Hurts, but
Eagles, Chargers.
but
Yeah.
here's the one thing I will say about that though. Just not really in defense, just because it's kind of funny because of the way Cam Newton has acted all year long. As I say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give Jalen Hurts at least a little bit of credit as our quarterback who actually went to go get that fumble.
Yeah. Yeah,
Most quarterbacks are not getting anywhere near that play.
that was bad, and it's funnier because it came right behind the Monday Night Crew saying that he missed AJ Brown like on a quick little hitch route over the middle, and then it seems like the next play he said to himself, "Oh, I'm going to hit this next play," and didn't even check to see if the defender was there and just threw it right in his chest anyway. And
Yeah, you know what that reminded me of? That one, uh, and not to deflect because it was terrible. What it remind and I'm trying who I think it was. I can't remember the team now, but I remember our guy, so you might know it. It looked almost identical to the Jalex Hunt interception earlier in the season that he returned for a touchdown.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You remember that one? It
Against
was like
Wentz,
I think was it against
it was against the Vikings.
Rams?
Vikings
Vikings,
game.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Carson Wentz, yeah, that's right. And it's like he never even saw him. He had locked into that receiver and he saw the coverage and didn't realize where Hunt was an extra player. That's what it looked like to me on that interception. That's the first thing I thought of. Which again it's a combination. That's a good defensive scheme and a bad read by your quarterback. Not a bad throw. You know what I mean? There's differences. Like I think again the throw in overtime. Well, no, there is a difference. Like there's a difference between a
No, it was a great throw, dude. It hit the defender right in the numbers, man. It was a perfect
no,
throw.
but I'm saying there's 100%. Dude, anyone who knows football is going to tell you that.
Yes, it wasn't to the left. It wasn't to the right. It wasn't up. It wasn't. That's just. It was a bad throw. Bad read. Bad throw. Don't make the throw. Read. Don't make the read. Like stop.
Well, it's a bad read.
It was bad. Stop. It was bad.
There's a difference.
It was a perfect line drive right to the guy's chest. It was a great throw. It was a great throw, right to the defender. Great throw to the wrong team, unfortunately. And the red zone interception late in the game. Yeah. To your point, he doesn't make that throw earlier in the season, so I don't know what he was doing throwing that ball, man.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that to excuse it at all. Like, let's make that clear. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. I saw a different quarterback in terms of what he was trying to do, which is why I led with it. It felt like, or it looked like, everything that's been said got into his head finally for this game, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw this ball all over the field, and I'm going to throw all these throws that they say I never attempt because I'm too cautious, I'm too conservative.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't think he makes that. I really don't. I mean, let me put it another way. Have you seen him throw those all season long?
No, that was a bad one. The end of the game one, that was a bad one.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's
bad.
what I'm saying. That's like,
what was the other interception? What was the other interception? We have the goal line, the AJ Brown, the right to the defender in the red zone. What was that last one? I'm having trouble remembering the fourth one.
Yeah, so am I, actually. It's all kind of running together.
Because one of them got called back, it hit the ground.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
There was all, and
I don't remember the fourth interception.
I don't remember the other one.
The one that somebody slipped. Yeah.
What also worked me too is
I don't even think Devontae would have gone to that ball. To be honest with you, Island Ultra.
Yeah, we did have
ball.
To be fair, on the flip side, and not to Jalen Hurts, just to the Eagles in general, in terms of that's what's crazy. As bad as we look, we still should have won the game. That was a phantom hold call on the AJ Brown touchdown that was called back.
Mm.
I mean, that was terrible officiating. But look, man, our offensive line is one of the
Dude,
worst in football.
but
And
even
every
Saquon's run, if you
quarterback,
take away Saquon's 52-yard run, he's
yeah,
rushing 19 carries for 70 yards. That's
and
not awful.
I was thinking that. I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to get to that. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing. Last year when he had those big runs, even when you took away the big run, those other numbers were still good.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God
it was.
damn.
But and that's why I say, and this is where the Eagles. This is one thing where they've been really good up till this point is understanding and embracing the whole. Everything else, you need skill players for sure, but everything else starts with in the trenches on both sides of the ball,
Mm.
right? And we are seeing that this year with the offensive line. It is terrible.
Island Ultra, I gotta be honest, Island Ultra. Like I was watching that game and like I was thinking this is the battle of the bad QBs. Like both of them looked bad. Like nothing Justin Herbert did yesterday made me think that he was anything more than I usually think he was.
No, yeah, I didn't think Herbert.
And then I
And
see,
I'm
and
feeling
dude,
a
and then I
lot of
got Dan
praise.
Orlovsky. I got Dan Orlovsky saying, "Oh, Justin Herbert had a real warrior game."
I
Dude,
saw that too. I'm
dude,
like, what?
it's actually frustrating because I grow up and I watch Don McNabb play with broken ribs. I grow up and I watch Steve McNair play with a broken collarbone. I grow up and I watch all these guys
Brett Favre.
like their bodies are broken in
Yeah.
half, yet they still come out. And Justin Herbert has a little hand injury that they mentioned 30 times, and I'm
Well,
supposed to be overly excited.
yeah,
And keep in mind, dude, it's a
I
hand
agree.
injury. Guess what? In the warm weather, so it's not like you even get the pain of catching it in the cold. And every time you pat the ball, it hurts. It's like, dude, it's like
Well, that's it. It's also. I mean, it's the opposite hand for a quarterback.
it
Like,
was man, it
come
was
on.
bad. It was bad, dude. It was bad.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was bad. It was it was all,
but
it
oh,
was
by the
all
way,
the way
to that
bad.
point, like I want to flip it to the other side of the ball, not the other side of the ball, but the
Oh
other team, the Eagles'
shoot!
offense, for an example. What is one thing we saw in terms of when we looked at glimpses of the Eagles' offense being good? Right, one thing that you and I talked about before, and that we saw when they had period
Dude,
stretches of time where they were good, they got under center a lot more. Right?
do you know
Did you
what I saw a lot yesterday? I did not see that
the
yesterday,
shotgun?
but you know what I
The
did see a
shotgun.
lot? I saw a lot. I saw a good amount of crossing routes. I was watching the game thinking, damn, I don't remember seeing these guys come across the middle this much. Like
Yeah,
even the throw to AJ Brown, he missed. Like AJ Brown never runs that route.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he never runs that route. The 30-yard play that AJ Brown bought off of like a 10-yard post. I'm like, he doesn't really run those. Like okay,
Not
so
often.
you know.
But and that's what's I think has been frustrating for a lot of Eagles fans is the, and this is why people would push back on the nonsense about Jalen Hurts is limiting the play calling, because those are all plays that the Eagles offense used to run when we had real offensive coordinators, and Jalen Hurts handled them just fine.
Hmm,
But
I
yeah,
got
no, yeah. I mean, I can't. Like I said, on the defensive side of the ball, I can give the defense a lot of credit. On the offensive side of the ball, I
dude.
really can't praise
Not only
anybody.
can you give the defense side of the credit, man. You know how you have sometimes have like there's a Super Bowl, right? And the Super Bowl MVP usually goes to the winning team, but then there's that player on the defense that just plays so
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
N'Kobe Dean was that guy yesterday. He was that guy that on the losing team just played so good. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I
No,
don't know what to tell you.
I'm not. I'm not reacting this way because I don't agree. Just be clear, I 100% do agree. It's my mindset right now because of the game. You know what stood out to me as soon as you said that, and he's been great, was the perfectly timed clean blitz that he came off of right down the middle,
Yeah, nobody touches him.
and he doesn't get the tackle, and Justin Herbert runs for a first down.
Mm,
And I'm not. I mean, it's because he was coming full speed, and it's like
mm.
he saw him at the last second, and you just have to sidestep.
Flipped him, yeah.
I'm just saying that's the kind of night it was. Because you're right, he was phenomenal, and then we still have stuff like that. It's just like nothing. I'm trying to grasp something good from it, Ben, and I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind that all these terrible things that we're talking about, it's a game they still should have won.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
They
We are
still should have won this
we
game,
are splitting a Redskins game.
dude. They can't afford to.
Whoa.
They can't afford to.
I'm just telling you what it is, man.
I mean, they have to.
We're splitting a Redskins game.
They
It's good. It's painful to have come to that
either
determination.
either win out or lose out and don't make the playoffs.
They're going to
Like,
beat the Raiders because the Raiders' offensive line is so bad. I mean, there's no way we lose to the Raiders. But
Yeah, but our offensive line is so bad. That's what I'm like.
the Bills game, I don't know if we could beat. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh man,
Yeah, yesterday was very bad, and it was bad in a way. They're just finding new ways to lose at this point.
yeah, dude.
They're just they're just
It's
finding
not
new ways to lose, man. The Cowboys game, we blow 21-0. The Bears rush for 250 yards. Yesterday we got fucking 5 turnovers, 4 picks. Oh, gee, we're just finding new ways to lose, man.
a few games ago. The idea of playing the Bills, like that didn't even phase me in any way. I'm like, we'll find a way to beat the Bills. And now I'm like, yeah, can we not
Yeah,
get blown out?
yeah, it's
But and
I need.
again,
Some, I want something needs to happen next game for Jalen Hurts to kind of reinstill some confidence.
well,
I'm not jumping
I'll
off
tell you,
the bandwagon after
I'll
a
tell you
week,
one thing that has to. Well, a couple of things,
but God, that was
and
bad.
this goes back to the play calling and the way I brought it up because we kind of jumped right to another thing when I asked that is we saw earlier in the season when people were making a big deal about it, and the Eagles finally went under center a little more often, and they were play action and it was very effective. All they did last night was the damn shotgun all of the time, and you're taking away some of the elements that make this offense effective when it is doing well. Play action, the threat of Jalen Hurts himself running.
Yeah, he looked like he was scrambling early, but he didn't really get into it in the second half.
Well, ultimately, the offensive line has to be better. I mean, it has to be better. It affects the whole offense. You know what I mean? Like it's the run. That's why I said we've criticized Barkley, and I think fairly, but also a lot of it is I remember on when was it? It was early. I think it was earlier, maybe halfway through the third, because the Rams used up most of the third on their one drive. I think it was the very next drive after that, and 2nd and 10. And because they're one of those predictable offenses, right? Many do it, but the Eagles more so. They're going to run the ball, which we did. Basic handoff to Saquon Barkley. We lose 6 yards because he. I mean, and I will say this is one where it wasn't his fault, right? As soon as he got the ball, he's being tackled, and he actually did break that tackle, and he tried to string it out and get wide, and had like 6 guys in his way. You know what I mean? Like you cannot win with the offensive line the way it's playing. It just can't be done.
Saquon looked a little. He didn't have the best game. He just looked more engaged. Like he didn't look defeated after the runs. Like I saw some emotion coming from him after
Well,
the
and
runs that
I'm
I
glad
haven't
you
seen all
brought that
season.
up.
Because he like throughout the season he just looked beaten up, beaten down, like not
Yeah,
ready to get back up to the next play. Like last night he seemed even after
I'm
some
glad
2
you
yard
brought
runs
that
and
up.
3 yard runs. I saw him point to the sideline a few times. Like let's go. Like I'm ready. Like come
Yeah.
on, let's go.
I'm glad you brought that up for him, but also that reminded me of the reaction from Nakobe Dean after he missed that sack. He was pissed with himself, not in the way like you're saying, not in like, oh, here we go again, I'm giving up type, but in the way
Yeah,
you want to see from a player,
yeah.
right? In the way I
Damn,
don't
I
think
should
we've
have
seen
that.
enough. Yeah, the
Yeah.
way I don't think we've seen enough. And again, it goes back, and I don't mean to pile on him, but I'm going to pile on AJ Brown again. Is was it after last week? Was it last week or the week before we had the 100+ yards? It was last week, right? Because it's been like
This is
we
third
went like
straight
a
game.
week and a half.
3 straight losses, 3 straight 100-yard games.
Yeah. So, but it was last
Listen,
game.
you hear that? You hear that? 3 straight losses, 3
Yeah,
straight 100-yard games.
and one of our other 2 losses, he didn't have 100 yards, but it was so obvious that they were trying to shut him up by targeting him all the time. But what I was going to say is, to that point, what you said about Saquon and what I saw with Dean's reaction is, did you notice AJ Brown did no complaining after his 100-yard games? They lost, but he was good because he got his numbers.
Yeah. I mean,
And you know what? When things are going great, you can handle that.
yeah, Island
When things
Ultra.
aren't going great, that's not good for the locker room.
I agree, Island Ultra. Now, this is the thing, Island Ultra,
I'm sorry.
because his most latest comment, he just put it down. He just put it down right there.
Oh, the AJ, this, yeah.
Island Ultra. He's hitting up the chat, so appreciate you, Island Ultra. This is the thing with the AJ Brown touchdown catch. So what was it? 3 weeks ago, Ravens Browns, I believe. Shador Sanders throws a bomb in the end zone to wide receiver, and the defender makes the play similar to how the cornerback made the play last night. This is the difference. Don't know who that tight end's name is. He's not making $30 million. you know, you know what I'm saying?
It matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good defensive play. The guy made a good defensive play, putting his arm in the catcher pocket. But guess what? You get paid $30 million to maybe not let the ball drop in your basket, but raise your hand up a little bit,
Go
turn
get it.
around, pick it off a little bit, do something. That's number one. Number two, and I believe this was an overtime. Maybe the ball was slightly short, and he tried to dive out for it, and it hit his hands. He had two plays in there where he should have caught the touchdown pass, and then I believe it was an overtime where it was like a 50-yard bomb. Jalen Hurts gets rushed in the pocket. He throws it up there. I'm like, here we go. We're just throwing it up. But it turned out to actually be a pretty good pass, and AJ Brown dives out for it, and he doesn't catch it. These are two things that $30 million wide receivers need. Now here we go. These are things T.O. would catch. You want to compare yourself to T.O.? I'm going to have to do the same thing. These are things T.O. would catch. T.O. wouldn't let some 170-pound cornerback rip his arms out.
Think about that, because you just mentioned two really important at a time. And then, again, go back to the one we talked about right at the beginning that I brought up is one of the interceptions is also because A.J. Brown let a ball go right through his hands. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was, despite his numbers, which is all people will see, because as much as they are, at least they're tracked, we don't talk a lot or put a lot of whole emphasis on dropped passes, not to mention when they come, or the fact that an interception is because a receiver let it go right through his hands. So at glance it looks okay, but AJ Brown, I would say, was a net negative to the offense last night.
Now, I don't want to move on too fast, but I remember saying this after the Giants game, and I told you in the Giants game, Jake Elliott's cooked, and you responded to me. That was his first missed field goal of the season. Dude, Jake Elliott's done.
No,
he's absolutely done. I need somebody else next year.
Well, they may do that, but they'll probably regret it because
I don't remember having this type of
most kickers Jake Elliott's age are not done. It's I get it. It's strange, and it's not easy to wrap the brain around for people that don't kick. But it is wild to see. It's just, and they don't all. It doesn't happen to everyone, but a lot of great kickers go through very, very bad periods, and a lot of times what ends up happening, because they think kickers are a dime a dozen, they do end up getting cut, they get replaced, and then they continue to have a good career elsewhere. So he's got too much power, and he's too good at this young of age to be cooked. But I understand what you're saying. Like he's been terrible. I'm not.
I mean, he's more of an accuracy kicker. He's more of an accuracy kicker than a power kicker.
Whether it's in Philly or elsewhere, he'll end up kicking well again.
Yeah, but he's more of an accuracy kicker than a power kicker. You never bring Jake Elliott in for a 60-yard field goal. That's not his. That's not his.
Look at his numbers before this year, man. You do. He actually owns a 61-yard field goal, a game-winning 61.
That's not his steez. Like,
actually,
you see this guy in Jacksonville bombing 68 yards, 69 yarders, and.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, Island. That's what I'm saying. Like I could sit here and Ben too, and we're like, other than the defense, we'll rip everything else about this team, including Howie, by the way, and his moves. But then when you take all of that, then you take a step back and say, yeah, they lost in overtime in a game they should have won against a playoff team. But then if I keep going, I think, well, that frustrates me even more, because that shows how much damn talent they have, and they're vastly underperforming. But again, a lot of this, it is. That's why I say top down, because Howie Roseman has made some bad offseason decisions, as we're seeing now with certain positions. He made a terrible offseason decision in letting Nick Sirianni name the offensive coordinator, which has affected obviously everything else, because that had a lot to do with why AJ Brown started talking. And it has been an absolute mess of a season. It's amazing that we're talking about a team that's 8.
Yeah. Now, Alan Ocha, let me flip this, Alan Ocha, because we don't do this that much. Is this real? Jake Elliott in his entire career 2 for 3 from 60 yards out.
Yeah, I said he's actually good. I was going to say until this year. Now, this year he's been terrible, and last year was but until then, Ben, I actually would expect Elliott to miss an extra point more often than I expect him to miss the
No, but
55
listen, listen what I'm saying. I'm saying 2 for 3, as in the Eagles don't trust him kicking 60-yard field goals, so they'll punt it more often than they'll actually go for the 60-yard field goal.
Well, no, until maybe last year, the league didn't really attempt a whole lot of 60-yard field goals. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that like 61 was the NFL record.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Like this is new. This is new.
But it was a while ago though. The 60-yard record was a while ago. Island Ultra, I'll flip this on you, Island Ultra. And I hate to be this guy, but you know I'm this guy, CBS, right? I hate to be this guy, but you know I'm this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck, Island Ultra, if you're still here, I have a question for you. How many quarterbacks did we put in Jalen Hurts' place yesterday and we win that game? How many? How many do you think we put in that same position yesterday? Ask him to throw 40 times with the defense limiting the other team to 22 points, 19 regulation points, and win that game. Oh my God, did you just see what he said? Oh, damn. Oh. Yeah, Island Ultra. I'm not gonna necessarily agree with that, but I am gonna say, dude, it seems like a lot of quarterbacks win that game, man. Like a lot of quarterbacks win that game. Yeah, Island Ultra. It was bad. It was bad. Oh God. Yeah, man, Vic Fangio needs to get Coach of the Year award, and he's a coordinator. He's the reason why we've been in a lot of these games, and a lot of these games.
Speaking of coaches, another one who seems to be getting a pass for some reason is who's in charge of a lot of the run game and the offensive line, who's gotten a lot of praise in Philly, but we don't seem to be wanting to criticize him, and that's Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach and the run game guy.
Yeah.
Because, 2,500 yards from Barkley alone last year. And, this is where great coaches can make an impact, because we've had some injuries, yes? Well, that's where great coaching comes in. By the way, but that also goes to Kevin Patullo, where you start scheming certain things and you start coaching up your players, and they get better as the season gets along. Whereas what we've seen is the offensive line has gotten worse as the season was gone along.
What's Philadelphia radio saying today? What are they saying over there?
Dude, I couldn't even listen. I heard a clip, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
Dude, all I know, if it was New York, I don't listen to Philly radio nearly as much. If it was New York radio, dude, I don't even know if Jalen Hurts is like even listening.
Oh no, that like one of the couple things I heard. Of course, they're all about you have to get rid of Jalen Hurts. That's what it's time to bench him and start Tanner McKee and all that. Well, any good team that's struggling, the most popular player on the roster is the backup quarterback. But I don't know. I mean, for me,
I don't like the Tanner McKee talk personally.
No, I don't either.
I like the. Dude, does Arch Manning fall late in the first round draft? I like that talk, Jakes. That's the talk. That's the talk I'm listening to. Does he drop to the 20th pick?
That's never gonna happen. I don't see him. Well, I shouldn't say I don't see him drafting a quarterback. If they draft a quarterback, it'll be to replace Tanner McKee.
Oh, that would
because
they would draft somebody to sit for the next 3-4 years.
Tanner in this NFL. Yeah, exactly. In this NFL, Tanner, in this very brief time, has shown enough that there will be a team that needs a quarterback that will say that's the guy, right? Kind of like that's how guys like Brock Purdy get their chance, and they either show you something or they crash and burn. And like I said, everyone loves the backup quarterback. So if they draft one, I think it would be to replace McKee. I don't see them drafting a quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. I don't see that.
No, but this is the only reason why I'm breaking up Arch Manning, of course, for fun. But two, if he does fall to 27, I mean, do they just say no and let him go to 28? But this is the other thing that I'm saying.
You think he'd fall? Before you go, I just want to ask you, yes, do you think he'd fall that far?
No, I don't. Okay. But I'm saying that's the only thing that. Personally, that's the only waste of a first-round pick on a quarterback that I would do if I was that. Like that. That's the only way I waste a.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
This is the thing. In contrast to Shador, I think the Mannings, unlike Dion, would say, dude, I don't care if you're sitting for 3, 4 years. I want you to go to the better organization. I want you to go to the place that's not burning. I want you to go somewhere where they're going to let you sit and develop
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
watch film and be on the sideline. I want you going into a situation like that.
Yeah, and
Um,
we've talked about this many times,
yeah,
and that doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately.
I would continue to just trot out Tanner McKee every preseason, let his stock continue to go up, and
Well,
just
that's what I'm saying. I'm
and
not sure when his contract
leave him as a
is up, but
backup.
also I think I'm going to guess that the Eagles are, and I'm sure they did this year, right? Get off.
Foles to Wentz to Foles
Well,
to
before McNabb, it was maybe the longest tenure was probably Randall
Randall
Cunningham
Cunningham.
back in the
Yeah,
late '80s,
yeah.
'90s.
And now we got hurt. So it's not like it's a we're going from 10 years to 10 years to 10 years. So we'll see. We will just monitor that. To your last point, it's egregious the McKee talks, but I can't blame the people for having the conversation. Yeah, this is the week where you can't blame people for having the conversation. Like all season up until this point, you can point to things, but yesterday was just indefensible game. And let me just say this because I'm not saying you necessarily CDS or anybody in the chat, but a lot of the people on Twitter are saying, "Oh, I'm seeing a lot of people come after Hurts and without giving him the leash or of winning the Super Bowl." Like, okay, dude, I get it. I don't need to criticize and or be critical, and then after every sentence put comma, but he is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like we don't need to do that. That's childish. Like he had a bad game, comma, but he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He had 5 turnovers, comma, but he's a super. No, like we could just be blunt and honest and upfront
No,
about it. You
yeah,
don't need to
well,
chill out just for just to
you know
just.
what I think it is. You know what I think it is in that regard, and in general, we've talked about this a little bit. That Jalen Hurts is a very difficult player to talk about honestly and objectively because of him being such a target in the media. You know what I mean? And so while I'm with you, I said, hey, I like obviously people that like Philly talk radio and stuff, they're going to be obnoxious and ridiculous about it. But the in general of the people who are just trying to be fair, talking about Tanner McKee, I get, and the flip side of that is, and this is where it becomes muddled with Jalen Hurts, is because we've seen it. We've already seen it this year. We've seen it last year where guys, who will say were those elite guys, will say Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, who, by the way, was horrifically bad this weekend, but no one's talking about it. All of these guys have had absolutely abysmal games, and no one ever immediately goes to, the backup's great, we got to put the backup in. And I'm not saying that means we shouldn't with Jalen. I'm just saying there's where the waters get muddied in talking about it, because I feel like you can't have an honest, calm conversation about Jalen Hurts and the pros and cons of putting in Tanner McKee,
Yeah.
because you just don't get the same stuff with these other players.
Well.
Because I can have a conversation with why we should put in Tanner McKee, why we shouldn't, and then which one weighs in favor. But most people can't with him. That's the thing. It's either that game was on everyone else because people will react to all this stuff and be like, I'm not even going to criticize Jalen at all. Or it's the flip side of, Jalen's terrible. He's the worst quarterback in history, and Tanner McKee is a future MVP. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, I think just bringing Tanner McKee into it is foolish. Like you could just say Jalen Hurts played terrible.
yeah,
And it
there you go.
doesn't need to be comma Tanner McKee needs to be thought about like
Yeah, Jalen Hurts played terrible, comma. Tanner McKee should start, comma. But Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, comma.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking at right now, Alan Ocha. The cons of McKee is that he's completely unproven and could be a lot closer to Zappy than to Andrew Luck. Yeah, dude is 25 years old, fresh in this league. We've never really asked him to do anything.
No.
And we're what? 15, 14 weeks into the season? Like,
Yeah.
we don't
To
make
me,
you don't make that switch.
No. I know some people will say, oh, well, we want to try and save the season. To me, if you're going to bench Hurts now and start Tanner McKee, you're actually giving up on the season. Yeah, you've given up on the season. Now, you might win some games because, like you said, hell. And, yeah, by the way, if they were to start Tanner McKee against the Raiders, I'd say they still should win that game. And they should still beat Washington, too. But are they going to go anywhere if Tanner McKee's the quarterback going forward for the rest
Yeah.
of the season? No.
This is also the thing. It's not like our offensive line and our run game is good enough to where we can put Tanner McKee in and rely on the run game.
Yeah.
Just
great. I'm glad you brought that up because the one thing that I forgot to mention
6'6". Shit.
Tanner McKee is not mobile.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
He is a big boy, but he is the pocket passer.
Yeah, 6'6", 230.
And I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying with our offensive line. Now, by the way, to your point, it's interesting that we don't. I don't know if it's because he had so much success early.
I gotta be honest with you.
What?
To 6'6", 230. I know we were just ragging on the combine last week, but I like the sound of that. I know I was trashing the look test last week about these people at the combine, but 6'6", 230. I like this.
Well, that's it. And when McKee has played, see, there's the thing. McKee, he does. He is that eye test thing, Ben, where you say, "Oh, this guy could be really good," man. Because he looks like a really good pocket passer.
Oh gosh!
But again, it's been so limited that you just don't know.
Yeah,
he
could
not
going up against live ones.
Right? Exactly. It's like when the flashes are in the preseason, it's kind of hard to, to say. Yeah. Because let's face it, none of the starters in the NFL, they used to, but now they don't even play like a lot of the first game anymore.
Yeah.
So it's really tough to judge the guys who are trying to make the team or who are going to be backups in preseason because it's just not fair. But yeah, I mean he's got all the, it's to your point. It's interesting that because it's talked about a lot of quarterbacks. One thing we don't talk about a lot with Jalen Hurts, and maybe because he was just so effective right from the get-go, is to your point with Tanner McKee, it made me think of it. The dude's short for a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have those easy lanes. That's another thing with throwing over the middle too. If he doesn't have, if he's got a lot of traffic in front of him, that's not easy for him to see. And I'm not making that as an excuse. That's the reality of a short quarterback, right? Which means also his release point isn't very high. That's why you're going to see batted balls at the line of scrimmage, right? Like, what is he, 6'1"?
Yeah, I see that more as like
he's not a tall quarterback.
Yeah, I'm saying I see that used as more as like an addition when you're speaking gleefully about a quarterback, and I don't really see people use that as like he's too short. I don't see them using it as like a means to take it away from him.
Not with Hurts. That's what I mean. With Hurts, we haven't, but that talk in the past, I've heard that about a lot of quarterbacks who aren't very tall, that they struggle with that.
Who?
That it's like it's why you see them get a lot of batted balls and they can't see clean to throw over the middle and things like that. And I'm
the short quarterbacks that come to my mind are like Drew Brees and Russell Wilson and Baker Mayfield, and they use that like when they say how good he's playing, they use that as like you see what he's overcoming. But
you're right, they do at times.
Yeah, I'm talking about taking it away, like when they're trying to diminish him. They don't say, "Well, he's so short." Like, how do you expect him? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that in terms of diminish, but just in people in terms of like, I guess let me put it into like when they're maybe talking about a player in a way a scout might, He's got a rocket arm, he's got a quick release, he's got good feet, whatever. Negatives being, well, he's not very tall. It makes it tough to see over the line, it makes it tough to throw over the middle, that type of thing. And then you weigh all the the pros and cons, just like with anything else. But to the point, just real quick, I don't mean to derail this, but did you catch any of the Bills Bengals game?
No, I was watching Shador.
Okay, because Burrow was terrible. I think he threw, and Allen actually he put the game on the team on the shoulders at the end of the game, and he won it and stuff. But Ben, he had some comically bad passes in this game. That again, if it were Jalen Hurts, and this is why it's tough to talk about. It's all you and I would be talking about right now is the reaction to the bad pass. Dude, he missed an open screen pass. He threw a line drive that literally went by the receiver, by the running back, about 4 yards in front of him.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it was like not even in the same universe. It was wild. And I have no problem. Like, I'm not a Josh Allen hater. I think he's a hell of a talent. I'm just saying it's so tough now to watch stuff like that. And because I'm always like, oh man, if Jalen Hurts threw that ball, because Joe Burrow was bad, man. He threw some bad interceptions. Anyway, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I wish Jalen Hurts plays bad and throws up 39 points.
Yeah. See that,
throws
but you
up
know
34
what?
points. I wouldn't
I
mind
also
that.
wish he had the. I also wish he had play calling from a lot of these other teams too.
I wouldn't mind that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Um,
Hey,
CBS, I'm looking at the standings, dude.
it's a struggle, man.
There's a world where we go 10-7 and the Cowboys finish 10-6-1.
Oh
Like
yeah,
there's a world,
absolutely.
and if that's the case, we're not making the playoffs.
No, we are not. You know what's really crazy? Well, maybe not. Actually, it might be the same this year. Typically, especially with the seventh team now. Well, we do have 17 games, but typically, I think a 10-7 team is going to make the playoffs. But that might not be the case in the NFC or AFC this year,
Mm.
right? Like, I know we talked about Kansas City, right? We talked about them having to win out, and then they lost. But it actually didn't hit me at the time. I didn't do the math when I was looking at it and where they were. I didn't do the math that they actually legitimately needed to win out. Like another loss was going to eliminate them if other teams won games.
Yeah,
Because there's an example, they could be 10-7 now, but I still don't think they can make the playoffs at 10-7.
no, they're not. As of right
Right?
now, only the NFC East division
Yeah.
winners making the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because we got the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Bears, and they all seem locked at this point. 10-3, 9-4, 9-4. They don't seem like they're going anywhere. Got the Lions
and the
8-5.
Packers are what? Packers are 9-3-1, right?
Yeah, winning their division right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and you know what's great?
Yeah.
And I see that being a reality too. I definitely see that being a reality. 10-7.
Yeah, Island, exactly. Burrow blew it at the end, man. He was bad. And to your point, I was going to ask Ben, let me ask you this. I'm curious what you think now. If there is even more pressure on Nick now for a couple of reasons, I'll give you real quick. One, we've seen the team be terrible after going to Super Bowls, where Nick got to choose the offensive coordinator, and we heard all week long how for this game, Nick was going to take more control and be more involved in the offense.
Yeah, I mean, I told you earlier, I saw differences in the offense. Like I saw more crossing routes than I saw all year. I mean,
and how'd that work out?
4 interceptions and a fumble. Like I can't blame that on Nick Sirianni and Patullo, man. Like I can't put 4 interceptions on them. I can't. I can't. I can't. I just can't.
You can a little bit.
No, I just can't.
because you're scheming, and you're going to scheme to your team's strength.
Yeah. 4 interceptions, man. That's.
I mean, one thing I would have done differently, just because the data proves it at this point, is I would have targeted A.J. Brown less, because I could look at the season and see, hey, when we target A.J. Brown a lot, we lose. I mean, I know that doesn't make sense. I know he's a great wide receiver, but that has been the reality of this season within this offense. When we target A.J. Brown a lot, we lose.
Yeah.
There are 4 games where we would say what I would say is over-targeted A.J. Brown, and we're 0-4 in those games. It's bizarre. Like, no, I don't mean to be critical of AJ when I say that. It's just one of the
how much is it? Is it Jalen Hurts just wanting to get him out of his ear? How much of it is that too?
Yeah, I mean, no, that is a good point, but also the plays have to be called for him. You know what I mean? Now, to be fair, I can see like what you're saying, where AJ Brown could be, say, the second read in a progression, and Jalen has already determined I'm going to go there. I get, that is true. But again, then that would be on AJ Brown, right?
Yeah, man, it's bad because I know I'm being body language expert today, CDS, but I felt like I saw some fire from the team yesterday. Like I feel like I saw some fire from them. I don't know.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. Like I saw Saquon fired. I'm even watching AJ Brown catch some balls and like get up quick, like pop up quick.
I get it, man. I mean, come on, we're talking about Philly fans.
I'm seeing them look like
that stuff's important to us, so we look for it. But it's just, man. at the end of the day, the only thing I want to read Island's thing
Yeah,
here
yeah,
first.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Nick is a dunce who doesn't know how to right the ship. The O line doesn't come up to him last year and sell out their bodies for the rushing title. We don't win a Super Bowl last year. Yeah, that is probably true as well. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Nick has to be on the hot seat if this team doesn't make a run. He has to be.
Yeah, no. The thing is how if I would get rid of him for Steichen if we miss the playoffs for sure.
If yeah, if the Colts, if the Colts, what was interesting with that too is
That's probably it. I don't really like these hotshot coordinators just coming up to being head coaches.
I agree. I think that's
You
been
know.
a big trend in the NFL the last maybe decade,
Yeah,
and I don't think it's been good for the game.
and especially we look at new. See, I don't want to put words in everybody's mouths, but I would be very surprised if a new coordinator, if a new head coach comes in and says, "Yep, Jalen's my guy." I'd be surprised, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, that is always a risk with a new head coach. I mean, I think wasn't that wasn't that sort of I wish Rhodes was here. Would ask him. Wasn't that kind of a thing when Kyle Shanahan went to the 49ers?
Yeah, yeah. He
Right?
kicked out whoever and brought in Jimmy, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's like, yeah, I mean that no, absolutely. But well, there's the other thing too that we have to step back and look at it is okay, let's say that decision was made. Let's say the rest of the season is an absolute disaster. The Eagles decide they're not going to sign Jalen Hurts to an extension. They're going to move on. They're moving on from Sirianni. They're going to try and do a quick rebuild.
Mhm.
Okay, they bring in a new coach. But here's my question to you then. I mean, that's the other thing too. What we have to look at is who everyone who's so desperate to get rid of Jalen. Who is the quarterback that you can install for the Eagles, realistically get that is going to do better? Who's that guy? Who's out there?
Well,
Right?
that's up to the new head coach. That's up to the new head coach.
But I'm
That's
saying,
a
right,
that's
but
a
who is it? Not specifically to the coach. I mean, but like, what's the list of players that coach is choosing from?
Well, are they drafting a new quarterback? Are they thinking that they're going to draft and they're going to make it? Okay, you
Right,
hire
that's
me.
right.
Let's
I
hire me,
mean,
make some moves, and try to get me up in the draft so I can take one of these new kids coming out, or see if you can go out and get me a Kyler Murray. I don't know. I don't know.
Kyler
I
Murray
don't
is
know. But
done.
you're talking
He
about.
was never the guy.
But we need to put ourselves in the other coaches' positions. Other coaches might look at Jalen Hurts and be like, he's not the guy either. He had this, he had that, he had this, he
Well,
had
but
that.
that's
That's
what
why
I'm
they won the
saying.
Super Bowl.
I've made that decision, so he's being replaced. What I'm saying is realistically, what I'm trying to get
That's
at
what I'm
is
saying. With Kyler Murray, a new coach would say, okay, if I just take out Jalen and I put in Kyler Murray, I can get this out of Devontae. I can get this out of A.J. Brown. I can get this out of this guy. I can get this out of that guy.
yeah. See,
You know,
no,
it
I get what
depends
you're saying, man.
where they
And
rank him. They
my
rank him.
reaction as an Eagles fan would already to be advocating for the firing of that coach you just hired. Because I mean, like, what are you doing hiring a coach who thinks Kyler Murray is the guy? Like that's he's not the guy. He was never the guy.
Mac Jones
He's
type. Hmm. Hmm.
Mac Jones is that's well, yeah. I mean, if the 49ers to say, yeah, Brock Purdy's the guy, Mac Jones is a possibility.
Hmm.
Um, I mean,
So
I'm not trying to pick who the coach would pick. I'm just thinking realistically, because we talked about this before, and this is what pisses me off about allowing Nick
call Andrew
Sirianni
Luck.
to hire. Yeah, I'd
Call
be okay
Andrew
with
Luck.
that if he wanted to come
Call
out.
Andrew Luck up.
This is what pissed me off about hiring Kevin Patullo is, Eagles fans right now, any of them that are new, sort of new, they're very, very spoiled. This is not normal. It's not normal for most teams. Super Bowl windows are very, very short.
Hmm.
If we move on from Jalen Hurts, and I'm looking at who's available as a free agent. Who are we? You're not drafting anybody that you're going to continue the Super Bowl run with, so it would have to be someone out there. What you're saying to me, if you move on from Dalen, is okay, Eagles fans. We are no longer in a Super Bowl window. We are no longer a Super Bowl contender. We are going to rebuild. And as we all know, a 1 or 2 year rebuild can become a 5, 10, 12-year rebuild. Right? We've seen it before. We've been in that desert. Pretty much sports fan. I mean, do we have to get into where the Chiefs were before the Patrick Mahomes run? Right? Like it was a long time, Kansas City.
Before Oh, like in terms of Super Bowls, yes. But I mean,
In terms,
When Alex Smith was there, they were winning. They were winning with Alex Smith.
they were winning games. Yeah. No. Well, by the now, I don't want to get on that topic because I always liked Alex Smith as a quarterback, but yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If to me, if we say all right, we're moving on from Jalen, to me that means Eagles fans get settle in for 5-12, 9-8, 6-12, 6-11, those types of seasons for a
Well,
while.
it depends how much of the team they blow up. Kyler Murray's not going 6-11 with this team. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Come on,
I
dude.
don't,
Let's not do
I don't,
that.
I don't know that Kyler Murray will have a job next year, man.
But I'm just saying, dude. With this team, he's not going 6-11. Come on, come on, man.
I wasn't even thinking it. I'm just thinking in general. Like,
It depends who. It depends who. It depends who.
well, that's what I'm saying. And to be fair to you, I don't really know either. I was trying to think of like what quarterbacks are free agents after the end of it, because you're not going to trade for a quarterback that can take a team to a Super Bowl, right?
No.
No team's going to trade that guy. So it's either a free agent or you're drafting somebody. You're not drafting anybody this year that is going to allow the Eagles to still be a Super Bowl contender in 26.
Dude, now here we go. You ready? You know who I would see who has something in the tank.
Wait, hold on.
Our window is basically shut if whoever they got next
Ugh.
is a guy. Alan Ultra. I don't want to be the
I
bearer
don't.
of
That hurts my heart to even
Alan
mention those
Ultra.
guys.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, Alan Ultra. I think it's shut. I think as soon as we found out this offensive line isn't as good as it was last year, it
It was
closed.
shut. Yeah, yeah.
As soon as we found it out. Now we're still
Yeah,
going to be competitive because we got some guys. But as far as an actual Super Bowl window, I think it's closed, man. I don't see it happening right now.
I
Especially
agree.
with
Yeah, because look, Lane Johnson may never even be back.
Yeah.
Right?
He's done.
I mean,
Dickerson's done. Like these guys are done.
Dickerson's done. I think Cam Jurgens is probably done. I mean, I think he'll be in the league, but I just don't think he's going to be that great of a center.
Upper echelon.
Saquon Barkley.
I mean, Mailata, we can give him. We can say he's having a bad year. He's probably
Yeah,
the only one that we can just say he's having a bad year.
he could be the only one that rebounds to be a productive guy on the line next year.
But everybody else is cooked like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, everyone else is cooked. AJ Brown may not be back, right? May not want to come June they might look to trade him. Dallas Goedert, I mean, the way the Eagles are with tight ends, as crazy as it sounds, Dallas Goedert's kind of at that age where they're like, yeah, we'll let the tight end walk or we'll trade him.
Yeah, he can walk. He can walk. He's good,
yeah,
but he's good, but he can walk.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we look at the times we got rid of like Brent Selleck and Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert is kind of that guy right now.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he's not back.
Yeah. We borderline need and I'm not going to call him an old school tight end, but he still has like the old school look to his tight end-ness. Does that make sense, CDS? He doesn't have the new school tight end look to him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like for me, the new school tight ends are guys that are basically big wide receivers.
Yeah. He still looks like Brent Selleck. Literally, you could just swap jersey, swap the number on the back, swap the name on the back, and you would have no idea that that's Dallas Goedert over there.
The Eagles have had, I will say, man, the Eagles have had a lot of good tight ends.
Oh, yeah. They've had a crazy run of tight ends. Between not only with Brent Selleck, but you also have to know LJ Smith was part of that team.
LJ Smith was fantastic.
Right into the
there was another guy, man. Who was the other guy? We had like three of them or was that Ertz, Selleck, and LJ at the same time, briefly?
I don't know if LJ
or is there another guy that I'm missing?
Cross paths. There is a guy you're missing. I feel like he left us and went to the Packers.
Yeah, like he wasn't here very long but I think, and then if you go way back, go to those teams of I think that the teams like the 80s, early 90s. You had Keith Jackson.
Okay,
I believe it was Keith Jackson, who was a heck of a tight end. Speaking of, if you want to jot it down, what you have to go see. First name, this made me think of it. So just real quick, and anyone wants to go check it out. I think in this NFL, he would have actually gotten a 15-yard unsportsmanlike, was a block by running back Keith Byers for Randall Cunningham on Carl Banks of the Giants, where he over on the sideline allowed Randall to scramble for a first down. I mean, I think it almost looked like something you'd see in the movies, Ben, where I think he almost literally flipped Carl Banks off his feet. Like it was, I'm like, yeah, we need more. We need more of those guys back on this team.
Hmm.
But yeah, the Eagles have had a lot of time. But I think Dallas Goddard goes. And look, hey man, I couldn't care less if Calcaterra's back.
Yeah.
So we need tight ends, we need offensive linemen, we need another running back. And again, I think Saquon will be here next year. Don't get me wrong, but again, that'll be a full year season now removed from last year, right? We've
Mason.
already seen, I don't think he gets better than this year.
All right. The problem, see, this is the issue. Is like we're looking at the offense, and the offense needs to get rebuilt, and we're kind of going to waste everybody's prime defensive years.
Well, the defense is still really young, though. I mean, the defense got rebuilt from last year.
That's what I'm saying. So, we're just going to waste their prime with all these new pieces.
Oh, if we don't rebuild the offense quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, the flip side of that, I guess we could say, is we're only having to rebuild one side of the ball. So, maybe there's still hope that it's not like, 4, 5, 6 years to keep going out where we're not even contending. I mean, look, we got to make it a legitimate playoff team first that can be dangerous in the playoffs before we even start Super Bowl. So there's a lot of work to be done, man.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a guy out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look. I'm not even sure who the free agents are right now, but I think the guys we put up in that top tier, I think they're all locked up.
Yeah.
But again, see that, and that's the thing, and that's where the coaching part is so frustrating because we've all seen Kyle Shanahan is a great example. What's his name? Is it the dude in the dude with I think Buffalo? No, yeah, Buffalo's pretty like you can elevate a solid system quarterback to play at a higher level, like the guys we just mentioned, Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, these type of guys that were, if the right players around them in the right system, can be very, very effective. Hell, man, you know what? Here, honestly, because I think this guy's available, this just popped into my head. Let me know what you think about this.
I got a guy too.
This is not long term, but this is me thinking.
I got a list, bro.
Okay. This is for me. This is let's keep the Super Bowl window open. Okay, if we put the pieces around him, right, rebuild that line.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I was gonna throw his name out earlier, but man, I just had a name right here that popped up.
Okay, who else is he available? Did you check?
Yeah, he's available.
What is he in street clothes?
He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Kurt Warner,
and he plays in the same state.
I'm in.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm in.
Aaron Rodgers. Hey, dude. Now here we go. This is what intrigues me about Aaron Rodgers. You ready for this? Is that it's similar to the Broncos having an offense that's right there, but just they don't have that just to get them over the hump. And Von Miller's busy wasting away with that solid Denver Broncos defense, and then they bring in a proven Peyton Manning who just does the right things at the right times. That is the comparison that I'm making, man.
I will, in all seriousness, and this is I'm setting aside Jalen Hurts for a minute. This is not me saying, we've got to replace Jalen Hurts, but to continue with, if we did,
we damn sure talked ourselves into it.
Yeah, if we did, and we wanted to keep the window open, and we look at the offensive talent, would Aaron Rodgers be a guy?
Oh my God, dude!
Yes.
Holy shit!
Yes, he could.
Oh,
yes, he could.
Fuck, man. Yeah, that's. Whew. Yes, we might have done too.
Yeah, I agree with. I don't mean to shift gears, but this is up a while. I agree with that. With that island is, but I think Dallas is at that point, like Ben and I were saying. When you look at where tight ends are, when the Eagles say, okay, we can let him go and go younger. Yeah. He's kind of in that spot right now, and you're right. He can't really block. Calcaterra can't block. Calcaterra is one of the worst blockers in the NFL.
Yeah.
To the point again, and this goes back to the problem with the offensive system. Calcaterra is so bad that when he is in, the other team knows the run is going to the other side.
See, yes, that might be our first real hot take, man. Bring Aaron Rodgers in here next year.
Bring Aaron Rodgers
in here next year, and let's try to win a fucking Super Bowl.
Wow. But we have to do that.
You don't touch quarterback in the draft. You only address offensive line in the draft.
I was going to say, but yeah, here's the caveat. That means we have to change coach. I
Yeah.
don't want to waste. I don't want him here with Nick and Kevin here.
You bring
So
in
if
Aaron
we change
Rodgers, you
coaches,
bring in
bring in
Johnny
Aaron.
Gruden, you bring in Johnny Gruden,
You,
and
you,
you just go all, and you push all your chips to the center of the table with old school guys. With that nasty ass defense with Vic Fangio, I think that could work, man. I think that could work.
I'm in. Okay, so here's what we're doing to save the Eagles Super Bowl window. We are hiring John Gruden. We're going
Doesn't
to make.
doesn't necessarily be Gruden, but it could be someone along those lines. But
I'm
that's
I'm I'm good.
okay.
I'm good with Gruden. I'm good with.
I have to think about the coaches, but that's the name that's coming to my
No,
mind right
well,
now.
that's it. But for now, I'm going to throw out actual names.
Dude, you hire Gruden, you bring in Mike McDaniel.
I was going to say bring in. I was going to say bring in Shane Steichen.
Okay.
And then bring in Doug
Okay.
Peterson as an offensive
Okay.
consultant.
All right.
Sign Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And leave the offensive skill positions alone, but revamp the offensive line. I'm in.
Both the offensive lineup.
Dude, with protection, Aaron Rodgers, play action to Saquon Barkley, throwing to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that's a wrap, man. I'm visually hoisting the trophy right now.
Mic drop.
I'm visually hosting the trophy right now. Wow.
And now back to the reality of Jalen Hurts and his contract. But look, man, I will say this. Here's one thing to try and put a positive spin on it for what we do have. One thing we have yet to see from Jalen Hurts is a slump. I mean, we've seen not great games, but we haven't seen it. And even the great quarterbacks, right? Come on, Aaron Rodgers. There were times in his career people thought he was done, 6 years ago. So this could be that. And at the end of the day, for next season, he could be better for it. 100% Island. We got the offensive line absolutely has to be revamped.
Wow, man, I might have just talked myself into Aaron Rodgers tonight.
Did he only sign a 1-year deal in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. He's on
So he's a free agent.
I'm a free agent.
Well, hey, man. The flip side of that still, though, is if you want to light a fire under Jalen Hurts, is I don't know if Aaron would want to do it at the end of his career, but you could sign him, letting him know he's a backup, and
Wow. Because all the other names I can't talk myself into as like an upgrade. Like I can't talk myself into Jimmy. I can't talk myself into Pickett. I can't talk myself into Mariota, Wilson, even Russell and Daniel Jones.
Well, and that was my point. Like that's the thing is people who quickly want him replaced. You need to take a step back and say, who are you replacing him with? What's an upgrade? That's the thing. It's got to be an upgrade. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't see one.
Yeah, that'd be the only guy. That'd be the only guy I can think of.
Yeah. But that's it for a, and obviously it's a big if, but if they decided to move on,
all we need are for people for ESPN to bring that up. That's it.
Right.
Once it starts getting traction, I think Eagles fans, once they start thinking about it, they'll talk themselves into it. Once they listen to this show that we just did today,
I guess good thing for Jalen Hurts. It's a small show right now, but maybe that hot take will get around.
Out of the ultra, that I thought of Jameis Winston, but he throws too many interceptions.
Too many interceptions. I'm the same way.
I thought about him, but he just throws too many picks.
It's like his big year in Tampa.
The 30-30
People forget.
Right.
Like the only quarterback to have a 30-30 year. I mean, it was 4 interceptions for him was standard in a game. Yeah. You heard it here, folks. The guys who defend Jalen Hurts have started the snowball that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback next year.
Where's Rhodes at, man? Where's Rhodes? Rhodes would have loved.
Dude, I almost feel like just clipping this part out.
I was told that the Eagles win despite Jalen's play, but it looks to me they are losing because of Jalen's play. So maybe Jalen is better than his stat sheet. It took a generational bad game to lose.
That's a very good point. You're right. Yeah, if you're going to say that you're losing because of the quarterback, then you've got to say the wins are because of the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's fair. But like I said, right at the beginning of the show, man, we went through a whole list of everything, but the defense is why they're losing. It's Jalen was terrible, but it was far from Jalen. Right? Offensive line, Jake Elliott, AJ Brown's drop passes. I mean, on and on. The running
Yeah.
game, the play calling, like the whole thing was a mess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting, Rip It, because I feel like I've been sitting here arguing, saying we win because of the defense. I feel like I've been pretty. I'm not saying you watch the show. I'm just saying I feel like I say that they win because of the defense most of the time. I want to say, right, CDS? Like damn near every game I've been coming here saying,
yeah, but
we won because of defense. We won because of the defense. We won because of the defense.
The thing is, don't you have to have that? I mean, and there were times where it wasn't, but Brady won some Super Bowls where the Patriots had damn good defenses.
Yeah, but people don't forget that. People don't forget that. People say Brady's first few Super Bowls was only because he was only because of his defense. He was a game manager. That's it. Only the latter Super Bowls really said that they won because he was really being the quarterback that we all remember him being. He had that 10 years in the middle of not even making it to a Super Bowl, and then they finally get back to the dance and do some work.
As crazy as it sounds, and this is why I said it all matters, and you got to throw it all out there, because as crazy as it sounds, you could say our win against the Patriots in the Super Bowl with Nick Foles was because of the defense. And I know that sounds absurd, right? Because that was an offensive juggernaut on both sides, but our defense made one play.
Yeah, I think
that's all we needed. That's all we needed.
I think the Eagles team is closer to the Seahawks, the Legion of Boom, Russell Wilson Seahawks, than it is to like the new era Patriots or the
our defense is not that good, but I understand the comparison you're making.
Yeah.
But I mean, like just the fact, like last week, the Legion of Boom didn't do that. You didn't run through them like that.
Yeah, no, you didn't. No, definitely not.
But I understand the comparison you're making. Yeah, like if you're gonna try and do percentages to it, it's majority.
Yeah,
defense. But I think a lot of teams are like that.
Yeah, and even I missed this comment earlier, Alan Olcha. I mean, if he plays like he did yesterday and he continues to play that way, I don't mind seeing Adoree Jackson next year. But he has to play like how he played yesterday. I don't think he was that bad yesterday.
No. Well, you know what? I would say Adoree Jackson, Makuba. I don't know why we're giving Makuba more leeway and grace than Jackson, but it just hit me that we kind of are. I mean, they both have been very inconsistent. They've both shown glimpses of what we hope they're going to be. So yeah, again, and that's where it's so tough because it's professional league, so it's win now.
Yeah.
But you also do even at the professional level, you have to develop players that get better throughout their career. And it's that difficult balance. And when you're a team that's trying to win a Super Bowl, there's less of that, right? Because you just don't have that time to do it. But Adoree Jackson could end up being a starting CB2. We don't know.
Now here's the thing, man, because I don't want to move his positions, but the way this guy always finds himself around the ball, I mean, we got to teach Coop how to play safety, man. This guy's like fucking Ed Reed, the way he's always next to the fucking football. He's like Troy Pollock. Huh?
Talking about Jackson?
No, Coop, dude. He's always around the football. Like he's just always around.
Ball hawk.
You put him in
he's
like always finding the damn ball. I'm like, holy.
Well, to that point,
he's a good nickel guy that I don't want to change. He's just like I feel like I'm wasting him too. Just only sticking him on the outside, Ultra. Like he's just so fucking elite. Like let him be the center fielder out there playing safety and do his shit.
To that point, it would be really interesting. Now, again, though, you have to find somebody that replaces him if you were to move him. Yeah. But to that point, to go right to a guy I was just talking about who also always seems to be around the ball, how about a Makuba DeJean safety tandem?
Yeah.
They are both always around the ball.
He's so elite on Ultra. I just feel like I'm wasting him a little bit. Because every game,
and he looks. I will, and I don't know. Maybe if I'm putting some prejudice on there because the dude doesn't have a tan, but he looks more like a safety to me than a. Even
Yeah.
though he's great at what he does,
No, dude,
just his build, he
it
looks like a
almost
safety.
it almost seems like every game he has an interception, and if it's not an interception, it's because the ball barely hit the ground right before he got to it. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
does that a lot.
like that's what it looks like. He's just always like, oh, like it's just
He
always there for him to
as
take
a
to pick the
as a
ball.
as an outfielder at times, he seems to always be able to find those balls that are either slightly overthrown or
Yeah,
underthrown. And to
yeah,
your point, yeah, he's just misses picking
yeah,
them off.
yeah, yeah, man. But as far as I mean, I don't want to. As
That's
far as like,
okay. I'm sorry. I just got to call out this one comment because this is a good point and kind of what we were talking about yesterday, or what I said I like about Burrow. Matt Stafford literally had the exact game last week, and it was treated like top secret documents, and that is true. And that goes, Ben, back to what I've been saying about how difficult it is to have conversations about Jalen Hurts for this reason, right? When other guys are absolutely horrifically bad, the media just doesn't talk about it.
yeah,
When Hurts is good but not great, it's the worst game ever. So now you can only imagine, obviously, when he does actually have a really bad game.
I'm gonna see if I can pull up Stafford's game.
But yeah, and Burrow was terrible against the Bills. No way that the Bengals should have lost that game. Oh, you know what? See, we got yapping, and I completely forgot to go in and change the
Title, yeah.
the title on the. I'm working on that now.
28, 2 TDs, 2 picks. Yep. Not the
Stafford was,
exact same game. Not the
no, but
game. Not the exact.
But,
not the
but
exact
listen to how they talk about him, though.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Alan Ocha. What do you think, Alan Ocha? Are the Eagles going to make the playoffs? We got to have a serious conversation now. If they're 10-7, if they go 2-2 the rest of the way, they're missing the playoffs. Cowboys might very well go 10-6-1 and leave us on the outside looking in. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Rip it, don't flip it. What do you think? Like I think we're at the 50% chance now where, as easy as we can say they're going to waltz right in, we can say they're going to be left out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They get beat. They're gonna beat the Raiders. I genuinely think we could lose the Raiders. I like you, Alan Ocha. I like you.
So
I like the pessimism. I like the pessimism, dude. I'm a pessimist fan too. Like I hold out until it's like, oh yes.
Well,
I hear you, Alan Ocha. I hear you.
I think that's kind of standard for Philly fans. I think we lean pessimistic just because of our history.
Yeah. No. See, that's the thing, Alan Ocha. If we lose to the Raiders, I think we're definitely left out because I think we're going to split with the Commanders for sure. And the Buffalo Bills game is interesting. It's either it's going to be a close game or they're going to hang 40 on us somehow.
So what do you think in 10? So Ben, what do you think in 10-7?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm thinking. 10-7, and the Cowboys finish 10-6-1. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
No. If we're going 10-7, then the Cowboys are going 9-7-1, and we're making the playoffs. I'm not ready to go. Look, I've already replaced Jalen Hurts next year. I'm not ready to go no. Okay.
Yeah, we're
we have to find a bottom to this.
No, it's dude, but I think if what Ultra says comes true, if we do lose to the Raiders, 10-7 is for sure what's going to happen.
If we lose to the Raiders, we're cooked, man.
Yeah. You hate Dallas. I don't know. You're preaching to the choir here, man. Yeah, I hate Dallas,
dude.
The desire, with a wild desire. Oof, my bad. I was thinking Matt had the 470, but it was Darnold. Oh yeah, Sam Darnold. Yeah. No, it's all good, Rip it. It's all good. But now the thing with Sam Darnold is, he. I agree. I agree. They did sweep it under the rug, but Sam Darnold's unproven. Jalen Hurts is at least has a comma as a Super Bowl
MVP, Super Bowl MVP.
Let me go to the Dallas schedule real quick. Rip it. I appreciate you.
But my brain right now cannot process the Cowboys.
The Cowboys got the Vikings, The Chargers, the Commanders, and the Giants. 3 clear wins. Vikings, Commanders, Giants. Those are three. Those are three more likely than not wins. I'm not going to use clear. I say more likely than not wins.
That's
Week
why I said
six,
they're going to go. They're going to go
week
9,
six,
7-1.
week 16. We're going to turn. We have to turn into Chargers fans.
Yeah, the Cowboys will go 9, 7-1.
Holy smokes, man!
We're going to go 10-7.
If they beat the Chargers, bad news
But see
bears.
here, but here's what's going to happen, man. We're going to go 10-7. We're going to win the division. But we're gonna luck. We're not gonna get a bye. Obviously, we're not even gonna get the 2 seed. But we're gonna luck out, and we're going to get Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks in Philly. We're going to win that game. Okay.
And then get destroyed.
Then you see the Bucks are going to upset the Packers. We're going to get the Bucks at home in the next round. Okay. And then we're going to end up playing at home against the Chicago Bears, and we're going to head back to the Super Bowl.
What about the Rams?
No, they get upset in there.
By who?
They get upset.
Dude, I don't see any of these teams beating the Rams. Damn it.
They get upset by the Packers. And then the Bears beat the Packers.
I don't know. I think the Eagles are due for a long off season. Indeed. It'll be good for recovery and gives Howie and company 3 more months for due diligence for roster building and coaching changes. Fair enough.
Yeah, but speaking to that point, let's be clear. We're heading into an off season where Howie Roseman ends up on the hot seat. Right? I'm not saying he's on it now, but we cannot have another. This was a bad off season for Howie.
I don't think hot seat. I think he has more incentive. Hot seat is like we're asking for his job to get. We're asking for him.
Well, no, we're not asking for it now. But if at this time next year he has an off season, this coming off season like he just had, that's a hot. Then that you're on the hot seat.
To lose his job.
Well, it would be 2 bad off seasons in a row. I mean, we're talking about the NFL, man.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to lose
fired eventually.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to lose his job.
No, I'm saying he'd be on the hot seat, which means then he'd have to get some stuff done.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to have some incentive this offseason to improve. I think he's gonna need a swing. He's gonna need a swing. That's the thing. I think they need to swing this offseason. They need to swing for the fences.
And that might not come until June when the salary cap situation changes with AJ Brown and he becomes tradable.
Indeed, I don't know. Just not ready to punt on Jalen Hurts. You believe the real issue is that Nick doesn't know what he's doing. Fair enough.
No, I'm not either. Be clear. We got in that whole Aaron Rodgers thing as a hypothetical of like, because Ben was saying if a new coach comes in, because we're all talking about, hey, Nick might not be here next year. If a new coach comes in, he might be a different quarterback.
Also, I want Tanner to start a game so we can stink it up and people stop wanting a backup quarterback to start over.
That's not a terrible thought. That's not a terrible thought. I get it.
That's the most Super Bowl appearances in franchise history.
You're playing chess right now. I understand it. I appreciate that. Forget checkers. We're playing chess. Get Tanner in there. Show everyone that he's clearly a backup quarterback. Of course, this is Philly. It'll be against a terrible team like the Raiders or the Commanders. He'll throw for 350 yards, and everyone will think he's the second coming and next year's MVP. And then next year we'll start 1-4, and Tanner will have 9 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, Howie's offseason could just be as easy as getting rid of Patullo and bringing in Mike McDaniel. So that's a little quick fix.
It could be. Well, yeah, but see,
I don't know why I'm not seeing Kevin Patullo.
I'm at this point.
I gotta see Kevin Patullo in the fucking booth.
If we collapse, I think it's got to be more than the offensive coordinator. I think it's got to be. Now, again, though, the flip side of that is I don't think there's a whole lot of strength out there in terms of what's available for coaching. Right. That's like, again, that's also, it's like what I said with Jalen Hurts. That's why I made, okay, well, who would replace him? Right. People got to think about that too. Same thing with Nick, I guess. Who would we hire?
Yeah. I was thinking
there are going to be people that get fired, but
yeah, I was thinking of, not Tomlin. Can't bring Tomlin in here.
No,
but I'm looking at like the top coaches in the college ranks. and I don't even see any of them leaving college to come to the
Well,
NFL.
right, that's the
You
thing.
know, I don't
I
even
don't know
see
who
like
I don't know who would leave.
the one college guy that I love, dude, and I love this guy, Dan Lanning with Oregon,
Okay, yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He is.
Hey, man,
I don't
dude,
know if he's on crack or coke or whatever he is, but you see the fucking fire in his eyes, man. Like
dude. Yeah,
you see the
but
intensity. Yeah, it's. I want them to
that can't.
scapegoat KP because if they bring in a legit play caller, it would save Nick's job again.
You're an Eagles fan, man. We're not hiring a coach from Oregon
Why not?
because that's where we got Chip Kelly.
Yeah, Dan Lanning is a different beast. Jim Kelly, he seems too LA for me. Dan Lanning seems very blue collar.
But
Chip
yeah,
seems
man, listen,
too
but
LA. He seems a
no,
diva.
to the point, and I don't know if he would even want to get back into coaching. But seriously, if he were interested in the job, I would absolutely have him talk to John Gruden, man. You know,
What about Doug Peterson?
I am not. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not like rah rah great because Doug drove me a little bit crazy too. But I do like Doug Peterson, and maybe he's learned a lesson. And see, here's what's interesting about Nick too is Doug got fired ultimately because he wanted to do what we've allowed Nick to do
Mhm.
in terms of who the offensive coordinator is going to be.
Mhm.
Right? Doug was kind of feeling that, and he wanted that, and we didn't give it to him. We fired him, but then they're giving it to Nick, and I don't understand it. I mean, it's clear cut. If you look at the team, it's like, okay, well, when the offensive coordinator comes from the outside, we're good. When we allow Nick to promote one of his buddies from the inside, we're not good. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Just as long as he ain't on meth, because you see what it's done to meth.
I saw that. And then,
He called
yeah,
her Stephanie. I call her
that's a,
Methany.
that's a good way to put it, Ultras. Yeah, Doug is who we were hoping Nick would be.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you guys. All right, CDS, you got anything else for me?
No, man, I think I'm good and hungry.
Island Ultra, Rip It, Don't
Yeah,
Flip It show. I appreciate you guys for coming by and hanging out with us for the stream.
thanks for filling up the chat, man.
Alan Viator, appreciate you for stopping by. We do this every Sunday.
Usually it's Monday.
Yeah, every Sunday at 11 o'clock, me and him will go live and talk about the game that we're seeing. And then the Monday after, we'll go live at 5 o'clock, but they played on Monday this week, so we changed it to Tuesday. But I definitely appreciate you guys for coming by and hanging out with us, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, guys. Thank you. It was interesting. Chat, it's always great to have you all in chat and stuff because it gives us things to talk about as well.
Absolutely.
To bounce off. But yeah, man, appreciate it. We'll talk to you all in the next one.
Peace.